Celestial promises. I miss her. I imagine she misses me just as deeply. Years will stretch like long shadows before I hear from her again, and when I eventually do, it'll be a long-forgotten image of a version of me that no longer exists. I'm sending her time left in a series of mathematical messages, an equation for every year until we're together again, counting down the moments for her. You'll hear from me in 5 years, I remind her. I love you. When I left, we were both 28. It felt like winning a lottery ticket, a ticket to a distant planetary station beyond Earth, a chance most only dreamed of. She never really understood any of this, no matter how many charts and graphs I showed her, nor how passionately I described the geography of Astra Prime, the moon I'd be heading to. I pictured the colony's shimmering glass domes, the lush, engineered woods filled with breathable air, all waiting for me. "Marissa, you can't seriously think you'll get chosen," she had said with a good-natured smile, her dark hair framing her face perfectly as she leaned back in the cafe chair. I could smell the faint coffee scent of her latte mingling with the sweet cherry blossoms just outside. And yet, I was chosen. I was leaving for a future that felt impossible, but wonderfully thrilling. But with each passing day, I realized I wasn't lying about my future, I was running toward my destiny, not away from hers. The cafe we met at weekly was replaced by anxiety and longing as I boarded that shuttle, accompanied by engineers and technicians, scientists all chosen for a purpose far grander than my own. "Will you come back changed?" she asked after the farewell, her eyes shining with worry and pride at once, as if she knew what I would discover up there. "There's no way I won't," I said, the gravity of my own words settling over me as I spoke. Though I was excited, it wasn't just the thrill of adventure propelling me, Aisha was living an incredibly vital and vibrant life down on Earth. She worked tirelessly as an environmental policy advocate, fighting for clean air and sustainable practices, something I had always admired about her. She was making a difference in the world I was now leaving behind. In my heart, I wanted it all, both the stars and Aisha. Beneath the weight of everything, I sometimes wished I had never signed up for this journey, never stepped so far into the unknown. Yet I also embraced the inevitability of my path. I'd be part of something groundbreaking, a mission to establish a thriving human colony on Astra Prime. As I settled into my new life within the confines of the space station, the routines eventually set in. Days were spent calibrating environments, studying atmospheric pressure, and learning to navigate the unfamiliar routines of life in space. Every time I slowed down to ponder the stars outside, the weight of my thoughts encircled me. I couldn't help but imagine Aisha nestled comfortably in our cafe chair on Earth, her eyes sparkling as she sipped her coffee while I explained everything I had learned. But I was also counting the days until I could reach out, until I could share my experiences with her, more than just a video call. I wrote her messages filled with hope, snippets of my routines organized in meticulous detail. "You'll hear from me again in 4 years. I'm seeing beautiful sunsets, Aisha. This place is stunning." In the background of my messages, I felt time stretching in every direction. As I delved into my studies and life-saving practices aboard the station, each moment reverberated with the knowledge of how much I longed for her to be a part of it all. Her laughter reverberated softly, reminding me of everything I had left behind. Weeks turned into months. In between the rigorous training and research, I settled into my role, yet there were constant pangs of longing. I kept imagining how the world was changing without me, new adventures taking shape without her and me side by side. Then the day finally came where Aisha sent me a recording in reply, a familiar voice echoing across the galaxy. "Marissa. I can't believe it's been so long. I miss you every day. Did you know new policies were passed in the state about environmental preservation? They are shifting the way we do things. I wish you were here to see it." I listened to her voice over and over, closing my eyes as I tried to picture her standing there, the backdrop of our cozy cafe filled with sunlight, most likely bursting with passion about her work. The details of her life kept me grounded, connecting the worlds I was living in. Sometimes my thoughts would wander to the idea of her moving on, finding someone else, traveling her own path while I focused on building a new home among the stars. But no matter my worries, she would reassure me through every message, urging me to keep pursuing my dreams. In time, I embraced the complexities that arose from distance, uncertainty, and longing. The wires of connection between us evolved into stronger ties, every letter sent carefully woven with love. Finally, years later, I began counting the days until the scheduled return flight to Earth. The station began buzzing with excitement and nerves surged within me. I had trained tirelessly for this moment, but with the knowledge of returning to Aisha, the yearning crystallized into something more profound and deeply felt. Would she still think of me? Would we be the same? As I descended back into the atmosphere of Earth, an experience like no other, the infrared blurs of colors caught my breath. I felt every sensation rushing back, a symphony of memories flooding my mind. As the ship touched down, I prepared myself, heart thumping. Time tested us both. With trembling fingers, I clutched the door handle. Stepping out, the sunshine hit me like a wave, overwhelming and familiar. And there, among the crowd, was Aisha, her eyes wide with emotions I couldn't decipher. "Marissa," she shouted, racing forward. The world fell away as we collided in the middle of a bustling intersection. "I'm back," I breathed, enveloped in the warmth of her embrace, the earth grounding me after years away. "You did it," Aisha whispered, pulling back slightly to gaze into my eyes. "You're really back. I missed you so much." The words spilled out, thick with feeling. And just like that, the time lost began to dissolve, and beneath the incredible weight of what had passed was an undeniable thread that tied us together, a love that old memories had only strengthened. "Let's go make some new memories," Aisha said, her spark lighting up a new promise of adventure, just as it had all those years ago beneath the summer stars. And as we strolled away from the station, hand in hand, I knew life would unfold around us, tangled and beautiful, but this time, every moment would be cherished. Together, we would navigate the cosmos of our own story, no matter how distant or vast, with a bond unbreakable and love ready to guide us home.